Welcome back into another video. Okay, so a year ago, I played Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 a year ago, and I got scared a bunch. But since I grown a number, I am going to be trying Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2 again. I'm trying all the new games. You heard me, Roxy. You heard me. Sometimes Freddy and Bonnie. Bonnie. But I'm just gonna call you Booty. And Chica, which I don't really recognize. Chica is like a different soul. But we are gonna play playing, and we're gonna do new game.
President Trump does not believe that whatever remnants of his government remain will pose much.
Why is his face? Is he tired of? Oh my God! There's a lot of job applications. Trust me. What do you mean?
Trafficking to permeate this entire
I don't know what you mean.
And obviously, the U.S. has supported Karina Machado.
I'll take it. Good. Take it. Take it.
Next, whether there's a special election call.
Those kids look so old. And why is she hugging Freddy Fazbear when it's a killing machine?
To make sure that election, if it were to happen,
it's not out of order anymore. Like a year ago was out of order.
These are all questions that are going to be difficult to unwind and will potentially take some.
Wake up! Are you out of order again? It says no out of order sign like a year ago.
In a power vacuum, a lot of things can happen, and so.
Okay, guys, here what I did. I only did cold storage, and I just got freaked out, and I tried that. But today we're trying sister location,
January 3rd,
ticket booth,
I mentioned Noriega.
food prep.
Believe it or not, January 3rd, he
it's
turned
these
himself
two.
in from the embassy of the
because I'm a big boy, okay? I'm a big boy.
He turned himself over to the U.S.
So let's go to staff and let's do cold storage again because I like doing it. I want to do healthy. I want to do healthy, you know?
The Iranian general of the Revolutionary Guard, taken out by U.S. forces in the first Trump administration. So this day has some significance for foreign policy action for President Trump.
Look at the icicles are really good. My Quest 2 is kind of crappy too.
Targeted, specific. He praises the U.S. military. Obviously, this joint force, Delta Force, combination of different U.S. Special Ops mission forces, was very, very specific and very targeted, and he praises that. But his doctrine, as far as what it means, big picture in the world, is really something that people are digesting.
They are, and I think it will also be something that his messaging will be very important to the part of his base that is concerned about getting embroiled in foreign wars. You know, the president has defended his plans here, saying that these are American lives that need to be protected, and he's
dropped your eyeball. Is it precise if I can throw it in the back?
To the U.S. since the U.S. put.
Now you, Freddy. Oh, okay, that got me again, which I don't like.
Deployed military into the region some time ago, and just the impact that had on the flow of drugs into the country and the lives that were being saved. I also think, though, that the president has made clear that he does not intend for this to be
how are they getting warm,
involvement on
how are they
the part of
getting
the
warm?
U.S. That this was less about effectuating regime change, although that may be a consequence of this capture, but it was truly about removing a bad actor who has been indicted in a court of law, and that indictment dating back to the previous administration. And so his critics on the Democrat side of the aisle, who may point to questions of legality, they can hold up that indictment and say that there is a legal justification for this action.
I think, good boy. I think I am.
And
I
sort of the
think I am.
scale to which it was conducted. I think the president is going to give us more
what did I
details
get?
on
Glam
why
Freddy.
it went
Glam
down
Freddy
that
is
way,
not popular, okay?
and what President
let's go.
Maduro did not
Staff
agree
only.
to
Oh my
that
gosh, my
forced
stupid
the
dog.
U.S. to take
Pig
this
Let's do pig.
action of this scale.
Sure, yeah. Okay, I'm
Jack
gonna
Lambert,
actually
live in the
back
North
up.
Lawn.
Okay,
Thanks for
now I
that.
have way
Giving
more
the
room,
2-minute
guys.
warning. It's actually
Now I
drawn
have
out a
way
little
more
bit longer than that. Fox News national correspondent Brian Yennis has been following this very closely. The biggest question, Brian, that we've been asking, you've been dealing with it with guests earlier on the air, what happens next in Venezuela? The next step, getting from point A to point B, is really
like me.
the tough one.
I'm gonna like say Ventura.
It is the harder part. And Maria Corina Machado, who obviously won the Nobel Peace Prize for being
Talk
the
about
voice,
this.
the face of the opposition, released that statement, and she has called for the immediate assumption.
Sink or swim. There's no pool.
That they must do a
That a pool?
constitutional
That a pool?
mandate, and Mundo Gonzalez, who ran for president because she was barred from doing so, must immediately be put in as the commander-in-chief of the National Armed Forces by all the officers and soldiers who comprise it. She also has
Help me, I
message
gave
to
it a
Venezuelans
kiss. Now I'm
abroad.
gonna
She's
give it a
urging all
Band-Aid.
Venezuelans to, quote, be mobilized with
Here,
engaging
have a lollipop.
dissidents and
Lollipops
citizens
are
around
kids'
the
big.
world. In a statement, she also
Oh crap!
is telling Venezuelans within the country to, quote, be ready to implement what will soon communicate to you.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Channels.
Here's
So,
a lollipop.
while we wait to see what the president is going to say, clearly
Oh,
Maria
I don't like how to
Machado releasing this statement to mobilize Venezuelans in the country and around the world. We saw those images in Miami.
What?
in
You
Doral,
want me to break his leg even more?
Center of Venezuelan life in the United States. There is
Hoping this is
hope,
gonna hurt like a
optimism,
freaking lot. It's
but
gonna
we have
hurt
seen
like
in
the sun is
past when
attacking
there have
you.
been operations, potential coups and whatnot.
Is he helping?
This
You're
is
a
the
good boy.
hard part, that it never really came to fruition, and there
What's
was
that?
just too much infighting, and the military, for instance, just did not turn their backs on
Chica,
Maduro. But this is
big
a
back,
completely different
because she eats too
situation
much.
this morning, obviously, Brett, with Maduro.
Here
and
we
his
go,
wife
buddy.
No longer in the picture, Brett.
Yeah,
Oh
Brian,
crap,
just
what happened to his
the raid
neck?
Itself, getting to Maduro and his wife, we were told by the
You,
president.
you
that
want
interview
me?
on Fox
You want me to
News,
shove a pencil
that
on
it
his
was
throat?
very well protected. The facility had steel doors. We are being told by intelligence sources, or Lucas Tomlinson, is that the couple was asleep at first and then tried to run to a safe room with a giant steel door, at which the president said they were dragged away. The question now is what it means for the region as well. If you think about Cuba, for example, Venezuela, many experts talked about Venezuela as Cuba on steroids.
How do robots break their
its
legs?
lifeblood, its oil, its energy from Venezuela. And now, in the wake of this, you wonder what that means for Cuba and for the rest of the region.
No doubt about it. And when we spoke to Carlos Jimenez last hour, who's the Republican from Miami, he talked about
cool
Cuba
it down,
and
okay?
Nicaragua, but also the importance of Colombia. We know that the Colombian government has sent troops to the border between Venezuela and Colombia. And why that's important is because at the center of this now indictment against President Maduro and his wife is drugs.
Oh crap, stop crying when I eat!
And we know from a previous indictment in 2020 of President Maduro filed here in New York City that cocaine was at the center of the power of Maduro's regime. And so there's going to be a lot of focus on that region.
I
because
can't why he cried when I ate freaking candy, bro. It's just candy. Pink patch.
Working with
I actually want to see
FARC
that pig.
leaders from Colombia,
Bro, I got so scared when I saw a pig in the
using
fence.
all of Venezuela's military might and airplanes and flights to essentially to send out drugs all around the world. And so there's going to be a lot of attention, I think, in Latin America. What happens in Cuba, Nicaragua, how Colombia responds to this.
So
will there be some
I
sort
did
of
that.
Is there going to be some sort of, perhaps, I mean, hopefully not, but some armed sort of conflict in the streets of Caracas? I think in the immediacy, that is what we'll be looking at here. And you did mention his wife, Brett.
What's wrong with Healthy? Yeah. What's wrong with Healthy? Yeah.
It's fascinating in that
what's wrong with the buddy?
He always used to talk about her as the first fighter.
I don't like this stabilized.
She used to be the defense attorney for President
I like
Hugo Chavez,
that.
who
I like that.
led socialism
I
in
like
that country
it.
and
Oh my
handpicked
God.
Maduro, to replace him. And so she is actually somebody in the indictment that was filed in 2020 had firsthand knowledge of cocaine. She had 2 nephews who were arrested for smuggling 800 kilograms of cocaine. That was brought up by prosecutors in the United States. So when you're talking about going after Nicholas Maduro in court, having his wife there with a direct connection to drugs is going to be something that's going to be very much in play here. And as the world now gets to know more about Senor Flores, who is credited, by the way, for keeping him in power.
Got a shot, okay?
And that will all play out, we assume, as this prosecution moves forward. It could be a number of days, and they will be at the U.S. Southern District of New York. Brian, stand by in New York for more now. Joined by Rick De La Torre. He is a former CIA Caracas chief of station. As we wait live, Rick, good morning. We're looking live at Mar-a-Lago in the tea room, expecting the president, the Secretary of War, the Chairman of the Chiefs, and the Secretary of State to come any moment.
I like how you got to me.
You know, this has been a long time coming for Venezuelans, who we've seen images already online of celebrations on the streets. Some of the Maduro posters being pulled down off of buildings. We've seen some of that anecdotally
take
already.
Like 7 shots.
Obviously, you're seeing celebration in the streets of Miami and Venezuelan corridors. But you look at Venezuela, the hyperinflation, the massive immigration. It's been cozy with our adversaries for a very long time. Drug economy, the defiance. This indictment is very detailed. What is your take today in the wake of this?
You just want me to hurt him.
Obviously, it's a great day. It's a great
you just want me to hurt him.
Venezuela, in the hemisphere,
I stitched him.
Really, what we're seeing
I think that's called stitching.
Return to democracy in Venezuela.
Let's see now.
This has always been a house of
Owie,
cards,
I'm broken.
held by, by Maduro, running a criminal network, a mafia that he personally
eat it.
and those within his immediate inner circle. And now
why
we're
another
hopefully
one?
going back now to a true democratic and free Venezuela. And you're seeing that in the streets there. You're seeing that in Miami. You're going to see it wherever the diaspora, the Venezuelan diaspora, is located. Luckily, we're talking about a country that remembers.
Oh crap! I gotta staple him again.
Capitalism was before its downfall under Chavez and going into Maduro.
Listen up, buddy. Put it on. I like pink bags better than you.
With capital and with interest of returning to their home country and establishing themselves and bringing it in line with the rest of the world. It's a great day. It's a great day for everyone involved.
I have a kid.
There are questions, and likely we're going to see them in this news conference in a matter of moments.
Another
arm? We're waiting for the president to come out of Mar-a-Lago. Questions about next steps and how you get from this point to a government that runs Venezuela. Is it the opposition leader, Machado? Is it someone else?
It should be. It certainly should be the opposition leader. The people of Venezuela, they voted. She won that election. Keep in mind, they tried to keep her off the ballot as best as they could, so she ran as vice president, and they still voted for her anyway. And she won that election fair and square, and she is the rightful leader.
Oh my God, that freaked me out so much, guys.
Unlike some of the commentary about maybe Delcy Rodriguez being the vice president of Venezuela, she's someone who's
I want to see what this animatronic freaking looks like.
Maduro to run and help him run the criminal enterprise. My understanding is she's
not out of order anymore.
In Moscow, which is no surprise to me. In my opinion, she's always been a puppet, an intelligence agent of the Russians.
Yeah, I don't like
the Cuban intelligence apparatus.
Okay, guys.
And that
we only tried 2 out of the couple. Let's try one night at Fizzy Faz. One night at Fizzy Faz.
And running the regime.
Okay, guys. One night at Fizzy Faz.
So I don't think she's a viable option in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Yeah, and so is there a sense that the other elements of the regime kind of fall away? There's not a profile of courage here as far as underneath Maduro.
Who's that?
Stepping up and continuing this Maduro regime, is there?
No, that's correct. Over the last decade or so, he's done a really good job of thinning the ranks of anyone who could even possibly be considered disloyal in any way, shape, or form. If you look at his inner circle, they all have blood stains on their hands because they all benefited from the drug trade, from the human trafficking, from the stealing of Venezuelan resources and selling it to the highest bidder. Those are folks that unfortunately have to be dealt with in some way. A lot of folks, you know, I always wondered what would be the off-ramp, what would be the exit strategy here. And many argued that, oh, you know, Maduro would leave and you know, on his own free will and maybe settle off somewhere else. I never really believed that because his own criminal enterprise, his own, his own bosses in his group wouldn't let him leave. Why would they let him leave? He gets to get out of jail free card, but then they're left behind having to face the Department of Justice or the Department of War. That's not a viable option for them either. So I suspect this is just the first chapter in the, you know, in persecuting and arresting or dealing with those within his inner circle, Diosdado, Vladimiro, Chelsea, and others. Their day's coming soon.
Rick De La Torre, former CIA station chief in Caracas. Rick, we appreciate it. I want to play this soundbite from President Trump on Fox and Friends this morning, talking about this strike as we look live in Mar-a-Lago. Again, we've been given a few more minutes before this news conference starts with the president and his cabinet. This is the president on Fox and Friends about striking Venezuela and capturing the disputed president, Nicolas Maduro.
Well, we watched it from a room. We had a room. And
okay, guys, since it's almost the end of the video, I want to get to the good part.
People, including generals,
system location. So I actually need to turn myself down for this one. I swear, Bora. I swear, Bora. If you do it again, if you do it one more time.
Different type of helicopters, different type of fighter jets. We had a fighter jet for every possible situation. And they just broke in, and they broke into places that were not really able to be broke into, you know, with steel doors that were put there for just
I'm completely normal, guys.
And they got taken out in a matter of seconds.
That's the president on Fox and Friends as we look live at Mar-a-Lago. Minutes away from that, I want to go quickly now to
Slow
Doral,
and
Florida.
even
Fox
pace.
Noticias' Andrea Linares is talking to Venezuelans in that community down there. Andrea, what do you hear?
Frick the marionettes, they always tell what right.
That's right, Brett. Good morning. And we have been here all morning speaking to the Venezuelan community. Just to give you an idea, I'm in Doral in South Florida, just standing outside El Arepaso. It's a very famous hotspot, a restaurant where Venezuelans typically gather. They have been chanting, singing.
I just threw two marionettes.
Which means liberty. They're calling this a liberation.
Guys, if you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe. Oh my gosh.